Movie studios had a history with comic book movies by the year 2000. Unfortunately, with a few exceptions, it wasn't a very good history. The pattern for superheroic films over the last 5 decades had been a cycle of originality, followed by shoddy imitators and sequels, followed by a break, followed by the whole thing starting over again. Things changed in 2000 with the release of X-Men to both critical acclaim and commercial success. Close on its heels came Sam Raimi's Spider-Man in 2002, which was the 3rd highest grossing film of the year and sent Hollywood scrambling to adapt every comic property they could get their hands on. 2003's X2 and 2004's Spider-Man 2 upped the ante. Critically beloved and commercial blockbusters, these two set the bar for the first 5 years of the new millennium. After half a decade of fun, flashy comic fare, and also the movie Catwoman, the industry got a shock in 2005 with the release of Batman Begins, followed in the same year by V for Vendetta and Sin City. Gritty realism, adult themes, and no more spandex in primary colors, Batman Begins set a new standard for everything that followed it. If that didn't cement it enough, the critical battering that Bryan Singer's Superman Returns took the following year confirmed that audiences didn't want to throw back to a more innocent age. The darkness of high-grossing superhero pictures affected non-comic movies as well. From Star Trek to Skyfall, blockbusters have spent a decade imitating the trends that started in this genre. The next game changer was in 2008, when The Dark Knight earned $500 million domestically, making it the highest grossing film of the year, and raised the standards for all superhero movies. Heath Ledger's terrifying performance as the Joker earned him a posthumous Oscar, and helped make the film an inescapable phenomenon that summer. This was the height of the dark superhero grid. No other film ever did serious as well, but it didn't stop them from trying. The second-place film of 2008 seemed like a long shot, starring an actor who spent some time out of the limelight in recent years, and directed by the man who had most recently made Zathura. Iron Man defied expectations and delivered an incredible blend of smart, funny, and exciting that would come to define the Marvel Cinematic Universe that followed it. There was another 2008 entry in Marvel's new unified film world, The Incredible Hulk, but rather than the fun of Iron Man, it honed closer to the scowly seriousness that dominated comic movies at the time, and is pretty much forgotten. Subsequent Marvel pictures have all been fashioned roughly in the Iron Man model, while Warner Brothers and DC collaborations have all had a certain dark and gritty streak, even extending it to everybody's favorite big blue Boy Scout, Superman, in 2013. It's arguable that nothing's had the same impact on the world of comic movies subsequent to the launch of the Marvel series. In the 6 years since, it's become seemingly a requirement to have every movie a studio makes be an entry into a larger world, with expanded plots and characters shared across films. DC, Warner Brothers, and Fox and Sony-owned Marvel titles have all attempted to bottle the same magic that Disney-owned Marvel perfected with 2012's Avengers, which significantly beat The Dark Knight Rises that year, seemingly proving the shift away from standalone films. But why have we seen a solid decade and a half of uninterrupted superheroics on the big screen? The credit is probably due in part to the technical breakthroughs that have allowed these movies to be as visually rich and believably fantastic as their drawn comic counterparts. In addition, the business has changed since the comic bubbles of the 80s and 90s. Giant media corporations now approach every movie as a franchise, look for stories that come preloaded with proven superfans, and own both movie studios and the publishing companies that produce comics. With Disney and Marvel planning a rollout of films through at least 2021, and Warner Brothers, Fox, and Sony all slating superheroic films well into the next decade, this kind of movie shows no sign of slowing down. So get used to the masks and capes. It's been a long road, but it looks like they're here to stay. What's your favorite comic movie? Which comics would you like to see in movie form? Comment below and let us know how you feel.